Why is astrology so popular? Because people need to believe in things to understand why something happened in their lives. Is pretty much the same as any religion. It's fun to think there's an underlying order to the chaos. It's because it just tells people what they want to hear. I.e. they are a strong person, they'll acquire love, wealth and a big house etc. It helps some people feel like they can understand other people easily. In my experience with friends who like astrology, they tend to like knowing what they are getting into when they first interact with someone, and astrology helps them feel like they know essential information. It's really similar to MBTI. It puts people in neat little categories, which for some people helps the world feel less overwhelming and chaotic. Astrology is just spiritualism, which is a religion pretty much, so astrology is a religious thing for people that don't like the term religion. God controlling my life? How ridiculous. I believe the stars control my life. I was very hesitant about astrology until I learned how long it's been in the human psyche. You can go back to ancient Babylonian times start to see it. Ancient Greece used them, and so did the ancient Egyptians. You can even find Jewish temples from the 1st, 3rd century that have zodiac signs. Once you get into ancient Rome, they intermix astrology with the 4 humors of the body. Therefore, someone's zodiac sign lines up with their humor levels. These ideas were held into medieval ages, as seen in the thorny computations digital.bodleian.ox ac.ukobjex 6x a7d8009-97 ab 65-4059a9 d3d08a0 BBA067C surfaces 688E1 E71 6 E0 E4001 3-8 D94-1 F9 C34058 C6 from the 11th century. Personality and the alignment of stars have been interwoven for centuries. Among women, I think it's popular because it's one of the only forms of spiritualism or religion that empowers women and doesn't seek to oppress them. In astrology, the rules happen to be about stars and planets, but they could be about ducks and drakes for all the difference it would make. It's just a way of thinking about a problem which lets the shape of that problem begin to emerge. The more rules, the tinier the rules, the more arbitrary they are, the better. It's like throwing a handful of fine graphite dust on a piece of paper to see where the hidden indentations are. It lets you see the words that were written on the piece of paper above it that's now been taken away and hidden. The graphite's not important. It's just the means of revealing the indentations. So you see, astrology's nothing to do with astronomy. It's just to do with people thinking about people. Douglas Adams. Mostly harmless. I've yet to ever find a better way to put it. Because it tells people what they want to hear. It gives people some sense of certainty over a life that has no order. In my experience so far, the firmest believers tend to be people with control issues or an unfulfilled life in some way. Because it's fun. I like it because A, it gives me ideas of what to look for in people, so I can categorize them in my head based on whether or not I think they embody those traits. B, because it's light and fun, whereas reading research is exhausting. I don't believe in it at all, and am not interested in predicting the future, but through its descriptions of personalities, astrology gives me a lot of food for thought about traits and archetypes. I've fallen down quite the rabbit hole with birth charts and synastry charts and whatnot, and something or the other in it usually feels uncanny, which is fun. But I'm also scientifically trained, so I'm happy to admit that in and of itself, I think astrology is nonsense, and I always feel a little stupid indulging in it. Because it's fun. Barnum effect. The same reason religion is, passing the blame and responsibility of one's actions is a relief. Same reason magic 8 balls and fortune cookies are, it's just a little bit of fun. For others, there are cultures in the world wherein astrology is a basic part of their daily lives and belief system. India is one example of an area where it is a part of a cultural belief system. Chinese astrology is also a popular example. For many of us, it's just fun. But for our ancestors and some cultures still today, it is a large part of a cultural and religious belief. Because it works. Hear me out. Everything is so vague and commonplace that anything will fit any person described. This gives a sense of meaning because it somehow resembles magic, a higher power. The feeling of being unique and special. Astrology has been popular for a long time. Astrology goes back to Greek goddesses. Then it connects with each planet. Each planet rules each sign. Also connects with certain times of the year, like the seasons. Then there's full moon, new moons. It becomes a pattern if you think about it. But if we want to go to the specifics, I guess you can say, it makes people feel special about themselves. It gives people details about themselves and how it can connect to others. So-and-so doesn't have good experience with this person born in this month, and then meets more people born on this month. List goes on. It's a spiritual religious belief that doesn't treat women as lesser beings. Religion is something that can bring comfort to people, or at least an explanation, but most of the popular religions nowadays view women as inferior.